All right, a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com, and welcome to Night Moves for Monday, February 2nd. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining me here this morning as we get ready for our sports betting day on Monday with a light schedule of NBA action, a pretty deep NHL card, and we'll look at 6 games from college basketball here on Monday. And hope you had a great Sunday of action. We had some great action in the NBA, some good college basketball as well. And well, we left off last night looking like maybe Novak Djokovic could pull off one of the biggest upsets, but no, it was Carlos Alcaraz who won the remaining sets there last night. Remember, we left the air. I think it was Novak up 1-0, but Alcaraz too much to win the Australian Open there yesterday. And how about Justin Rose and his impressive victory at the Farmers in Torrey Pines as he set a course record or a tournament record scoring, led wire to wire. Man, Rosie won for the old guys there over the weekend in San Diego. And also a pretty fun night of college basketball yesterday. We were able to bring home some winners here on Night Moves, and were some interesting results there from the action on Sunday. Yesterday on the show, we did have the over in that Alabama-Florida game. That one kind of lived up to expectations, didn't it, with that high-scoring finish there on Sunday. Also had Night Moves winner here on the show with TCU in Colorado. In Colorado's a pretty convincing victory there over TCU. Also a winner here on Night Moves with Illinois and Nebraska. 2 go under. Wasn't Illinois impressive, though, to overcome the deficit against the Cornhuskers and be able to get it done there on Sunday, 78-69. Nebraska led by 6 at halftime. So another top 5 loss for Nebraska. They're starting to face it a little bit here. Still great team, but this one was at home, and Illinois brought the fans and they brought the win back home to Champaign-Urbana with the victory there. In that Florida game, the Gators, really rocked it there in the second half and really stymied Alabama. But really, Alabama lost it kind of on the boards there. Alabama, they really put themselves into some tough binds with all those 3-pointers that they take. More than 50% of their shots come from 3-point range. And if you shoot that many threes, you usually don't win a national title. Not that Alabama was in consideration for that, but it also really puts them on the short end sometimes. If it's a hot team like the Gators there, makes it a little bit difficult. A couple other finals there. Tulsa, they rocked Wichita 93-83 there on Sunday as Tulsa was able to really hammer them there from inside. Really, that's where their dominance was in that game. But Tulsa also can shoot from the outside as well. Number 4 3-point shooting team in the country, one of the best offenses going right now at Tulsa, and they rocked Wichita. Also, Tulane with a victory there over Memphis in a key game in the American. East Carolina edged FAU 76-75, even though FAU led by 12 midway through the first half. Cleveland State over Milwaukee by 2, 90-88. And in the NBA, we did have a premium winner here with Tony's Picks. As I had the San Antonio Spurs over the Orlando Magic on Sunday. Also brought home our premium pick winner in college ball as well. And we also had the winner in the NHL late night. It wasn't easy. with the Ducks and the Golden Knights as the final score ended up 4-3 there with two late goals as the Ducks were able to win it. They did take a 4-2 lead there late, and they got that seventh goal came with the Golden Knights with 9 seconds left to give us the over. Sometimes it's good to be the luckiest handicapper in the world, and we also had the over in that Tulane Memphis game. Let me take you over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at our premium picks over there. Get ready for a great week with the cappers. Let's see who was hot on Sunday. Besides me, I went 3-0. So let's take a look at the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot over at Tony's Picks. There we go. And take a look here with, let me get to the one-day standings here and see what we got. Damian Sosh, 5-0 there yesterday. Bo Dunn, another huge day. Bo really smashing here so far with his return to the side. Brian Bittler, 3-0 there. Rod Zawacki, 4-1. I had a 3-0 day as well. There it is. Kevin Thomas up there, 3-0. Jorge, also 3 wins yesterday. Stacks, Justin McKelvey with a couple of winners. Tony with a couple of winners as well. Everybody's on the leaderboard here on Sunday. And Nick Lagaretos, Ron Hahn, both with 3 wins. Mills, Young, DeAndre Stevenson, and Vegas Al Rodriguez, 3 all won their only play there yesterday, and some other winners there. Man, everybody's on the leaderboard here for Sunday. All right, you can click on the handicapper all cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. Check me out tomorrow over at Tony's Picks. I'm going to rock it again here with college basketball, NBA, NHL. Check me out there over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Monday. Get ready for a big Super Bowl week, all culminating with the big game on Sunday. Can't get here soon enough, but still looking forward to it here this weekend. Right now, still we stand Seattle minus 4.5, total 45 in Santa Clara on Sunday. All right, appreciate it, and thank you for joining me here. We'll get our previews rolling here, but I do want to say hello to the folks in the chat. I've got a dozen of you in here so far, so might as well get ready to preview the games here on Sunday. We did have a pretty good day here with the NBA, and take a look at our fans in the chat. Here we go with Tim in the chat here. Here's Andre as well. Cal Dog is here. Also, let's see who else. Mr. Weskers joining us today, talking about the man with the toupee there in the boxing match there last night. And let's see who else. Is that it from you guys in the chat? Good to see everyone here as we get ready to go with the show. All right. Going to get rolling here in the NBA after our day here on Sunday. We did have some winners here on the show last night, including Orlando and San Antonio. Not only the premium pick winner there, but also the winner on the under here on Night Moves yesterday. We also had the Miami Heat for a winner, Utah Jazz for a winner, Washington Wizards for a winner. The winning just kept continuing here in the NBA again this week. One with the Pistons, one with the Knicks, one with the Clippers and the Suns under. I don't have to explain it to you guys. It was another strong day there yesterday, 7-3 with the 10 games in the NBA. Also NHL, we did have the winners here on Night Moves with both with the Kings and the Hurricanes under. How about the game last night there in Tampa Bay? Wasn't that a thrilling game? The Bruins jumping out to that big lead, led 5-1 over Tampa Bay in the outdoor stadium series. Tampa Bay comes all the way back. There was a goalie fight in there as well for the second time this season, but this was the first ever outdoor goalie fight. And then the Lightning end up winning it in a shootout. And, man, the Bruins came so close with Pasta banging the crossbar there after it was just tipped by Vasilevsky, and it might have been in if he didn't get that little tiny tip in there. It was a great Stadium Series game, man. Everyone had fun except for the goofy ESPN announcers that looked like fools. This is, look, it's novel and all to be on maybe in the tradition of Chris Berman riding the boat, but let's look. I couldn't do it. I'd have to be, I know I'm a little stiff here, but I'd have to be a little bit more professional than wearing a goofy pirate outfit to do a great outdoor game between Boston and Tampa Bay. But Tampa looked cool wearing those Tampa Bay Buccaneers jerseys, didn't they? And Tampa Bay gets the win there in a shootout. Okay, let's get rolling with the coverage here on Monday and get to the NBA here. And we do have one time change here. Again, we're trying, man, we can't get out. And that was the other thing about the hockey game last night. It was almost 40 degrees down there. You're worried about the ice being a little, it was downright cold there in the game. I didn't know the deep freeze was reaching all the way down there into Florida here now this weekend. So we do have the time change here in our first game with New Orleans taking on the Hornets here in Charlotte. So again, another game in Charlotte where we've had to move it up here because of the cold front. They were just hanging out over the east here. Do have Charlotte favored in this one by 7.5. Total 233 here in this one. Look, for the Hornets here, they continue to look so impressive right now. But hey, this isn't going to be easy. The Pelicans, I'm not saying that they're showing signs of life here necessarily, but they've been a little bit feisty, getting some of the numbers here, it feels like to me, here of late. Credit them, actually, for how well they've played. New Orleans 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. They've also covered 6 of the last 8 meetings with the Hornets. Hornets have won 6 straight right now, and it seems like it was predictable, the way they've been going here. So you may want to keep rolling here with the Hornets, but man, it's almost unprecedented territory here, starting to lay some of these numbers with this Charlotte team, as impressive as they have been, especially Miller. Continues to look so strong here right now for Charlotte. Really, it almost feels like this entire lineup really nice here with Ball, Kneppel, Bridges, Diabate. Really got to like this group. But the Pelicans here, have their own set of strong players right now. I mean, you got to like what you're seeing from Zion and Sadiq Bey as well. Murphy in there. Queen is living up to all that they were expected. So I think I've got a game with 2 hot young teams here, it feels like right now. New Orleans did get blasted by Philly on the road, 124-114 the other night. They were getting 6.5 points, but that's all right. In Charlotte here, meanwhile, they even failed to cover in a couple of these games where they were favored. Remember, they didn't cover against Washington. They didn't cover against Dallas. That was a good, exciting game here. So let me see if you're interested here, though, with this one between New Orleans taking on Charlotte here. New Orleans has gone under in 5 of their last 7 games. Charlotte's gone under in 6 of their last 8 coming in. They're 8-15 to the under at home. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under as well. So, look, kind of, you got to do it with defense sometimes. And the first meeting between these two teams was an under. It was 116-112. New Orleans got the win at home as a favorite. So I think they can hang in here in this game with Charlotte. I think the spread has dipped here to 7 at a few places, but mostly 7.5. This one is at 3:10 Eastern, 12:10 Pacific on the time change here. Plumlee is out for the Hornets in this one. I'm going to take New Orleans in this one against Charlotte. Let me hear from you in the chat. I think got a good standalone game here in the afternoon. All right, here we go. All right. Andre said I told you it was cold down there in Florida. Here's the Gibson ratings. Have Charlotte here 121 to 113 over here for Timmy, I think. Says it's going to be a track meet here, a race. I couldn't sell him with those trends. He likes it to be a high scoring game with these young clubs. Hornets win. Pels covering and over for Andre here. Mr. Westers can't keep fading these Hornets right now, but yeah, he's just not sold yet. Cal Dog here. Pelicans got to make those free throws, and the Pelicans got a healthy unit here. Well, yeah, Plumlee's important, but Andre says with this group that I just mentioned, with these guys, that they'd be able to produce here. And I think that might be it. Andre did like those guys to go over in their points. And Greg says this is a Charlotte team right now. This streak is too solid to ignore, I think is what he's saying. New Orleans 25 and 21 to the over as an underdog, but that's about all I can see as far as putting up the offense here right now. But Charlotte, 13 and 10 against the spread at home right now, pretty good. Okay, I think I'm taking New Orleans though here. Greg liked what he saw in that Charlotte game. Yeah, we were on Charlotte in that one, or I was anyway. All right, so that's a standalone game. We're getting into the nighttime action now with 4 total games, 3 night games here. And we'll take a look at this one with Houston Rockets on the road taking on the Indiana Pacers. Both teams come in here with 2-game winning streaks right now, and good for the Pacers here. They've actually won 3 of their last 4. They just picked up wins over Chicago and Atlanta. Here also for Houston, they're off a couple of wins, although they did not cover the last one against Dallas as a 10.5 point favorite, but still Houston here in a pretty good roll. They've won 4 of their last 5, but only 4 and 12 against the spread in their last 16 games overall for Houston. We know they've got injury concerns here for sure. We're going to have to go here right now without KD. He's out of this game with an ankle injury. It does feel like it might be a little bit of a stay off the court here for Durant right now. We'll see how quickly he can get back into the lineup. Of course, they lost Steven Adams officially last week for the rest of the season as well here. So a little bit tough here in the front court for Houston right now. And hey, Indiana's doing a nice job here of late with those 3 wins and covers here in the last 4 games for the Pacers. They've gone 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games at home. Yeah, they've lost 13 of their last 20 coming in, but again, Houston not really covering very well, and Houston just 4-8 against the spread the last 12 games against Indiana overall. And Indiana's had their struggles here. They're trying to at least fight hard here. Only 13 wins this season. They're kind of in that bottom group, certainly, that we've talked about, but they're getting the money right now, no doubt about it. Now, Houston is picking up some wins here once again, but again, it's worked into the line, but no KD here. And look at that total as well, pretty low there at 218. So let me hear from you in the chat if you're ready to go with this one between the Rockets and the Pacers here on Monday. The Rockets been going under quite a bit here lately. They've gone under in 5 straight games and 9 of their last 10 games overall coming in. 4 of the last 6 in between these two teams have gone over, but Indiana is 19-30 to the under this season. These two teams are combined 39-57 to the under overall. Here we go in the chat with this one. Rockets and Pacers here. Cal Dog is on the Rockets right now. And Mr. Westers doesn't have any problem with KD sitting, right? Yeah, you know what? He brings his own limitations sometimes, nowadays anyway. But these two teams did meet back in December. Houston was able to get the win, 126 to 119. They did not cover as a 12.5 point favorite at home. Shingun over 19 here, says Andre. And Cal Dog says if KD's out, go over. Oh, well, that's one way to look at it. I don't know if I can though right now. I mean, these two, I know they're solid under teams for sure. Andre says Pacers in the points. Pacers picking it up a little bit here. He's also got Nemhard over in his assist. And Timmy says, Houston does play D, so you got to think maybe under here still. Although, like we said, missing KD. Here's Greg. He's got it real close here, actually, closer than that 5. So I think he's on Indiana here. So, yep, he said it. Indiana will hang in here in this game. I agree with that. But I'm going to take the under here as my play on the show. I might be thinking about Indiana for sure, getting these points at home in feels like a real good situation. But I'm going to try the under here as my official play on Night Moves. They've got a great crowd in here at little after midnight here in Las Vegas. Thank you for joining me here on the show. Let's continue on here with our 4-game NBA card on Monday. And we've got Minnesota Timberwolves on the road taking on the Memphis Grizzlies here. Minnesota has concerns with their injury report heading into this game. Kind of headline material here a little bit. Note the time change, 7:40 Eastern, 4:40 Pacific here with this one. This is the early Peacock game, so they moved this one up. But Julius Randle, questionable. Anthony Edwards, questionable as well. He's got a back injury. Randall's got a thumb injury. I mean, you're missing here, if these guys were to sit, a ton of points, obviously, with these two guys. The line may look like one or both could be in, right, at 7.5 or 8 here right now. But, man, I don't know if it didn't feel overly optimistic that both players would be in. Maybe Edwards has less of a chance to be involved here with the injury right now, So with Edwards questionable, we got Conley likely starts there, and if Randall's out, then you got Reed in there. So I know that you guys aren't going to have too much of a problem with that, but also, I think Jaren Jackson here for Memphis. He's questionable as well. Konkar out for Memphis. Aldama, he's out. So they're missing guys too. And, of course, Ja's been out. So I guess if Jaren Jackson's out, that's a bit of a factor too. And if Aldama, he's out. So you got Wells, Londale, Williams, G.G. Jackson in there. So Minnesota's still been the hot team. We know Memphis has been in a big time funk here right now, that maybe even without these guys, Minnesota could win the way Memphis is going. They've lost 6 straight, 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games coming in. The only cover came against Houston on the road, getting 11 in a 9-point loss. Other than that, they haven't come close, and they've been underdogs pretty much in the last 3 games as well. Losses to Charlotte, New Orleans, and this Minnesota team. It was 131 to 114 when the two teams met just a couple of nights ago. Memphis was getting 11.5 at home in that one as well. So again, maybe the injury report does indicate it there. That's a 3-point difference in the spread. So I stand corrected. Minnesota with this winning streak coming in. They beat Golden State, Dallas, Oklahoma City, and Memphis, covered the spread in all of their 3 games that they were favored right now. So Memphis still 9-20 ATS as an underdog. Looks like they're mailing it in half the time right now. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Memphis has gone over in 4 of their last 5, but Minnesota here has gone under in 22 of 39 is a favorite, but they are 16-9 to the over on the road. And Memphis at home, they're slightly an over team too. It's just that when they're a dog, they usually go under, and when Minnesota's a favorite, they usually go under. So I'm probably still lay it here with the Timberwolves right now. Let's see what you got in the chat. Minnesota has covered 8 of the last 12 meetings. I mean, that's a lot of points, but as long as one of those guys can make it, here we are overnight. I just don't know if I can recommend Memphis here at this point. Andre says Timberwolves. Timberwolves, Grizzlies cover. Timberwolves win. I get confused as Timberwolves men. You think Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves win. Grizzlies cover, go under. The Gibson ratings here has it very close to the number. Timmy Choo-Choo says the Wolves are doing it with Reed's threes. Mr. Weskers will still take the Grizzlies there. So Greg says it was a blowout last week. And it's been a long time since the Grizzlies showed any hope, right? Man. Andre said Reed and DiVincenzo over on their points. Memphis will try to get the revenge here for that game the other night. They also played back in December, and Memphis won it 116-110 at Minnesota. So they both have won on the other's home court so far this season. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take Minnesota here. Hope I get one of those guys in the lineup there. If not, I think the line will probably still move again once more of a confirmation that those guys, if they are indeed out. Like I said, I'm not optimistic on either guy, but maybe Randall can make it. He's got the thumb injury. All right, one more here, and more injury concerns, but the Clippers right now, I guess it doesn't matter. Man, they really took it down there on Phoenix on Sunday night. Despite no James Harden, they were able to come through with flying colors. Who gets to start in there? My man Kobe Sanders. And any Kobe Sanders fans out there right now, his numbers have been pedestrian, but this rookie has come in. He used to play at Cal Poly there, and then he played in the Mountain. Played where was it? Utah State, I think. There after he transferred there, after he graduated from Cal Poly. So Kobe Sanders, who to me, I thought he was going to be just a G leaguer this year, but he's got 9 starts now, or he's going to make his 9th start here if Harden is out. Imagine you're this rookie and he ends up, you're starting for James Harden. Pretty good. He's averaging about 8 points in there, but just impressed with my man Kobe Sanders doing a great job for the Clippers and, being part of the club when it looked like he was going to be on the San Diego Clippers. Philadelphia has covered 14 last 20 between these two teams, but the Clippers come in here having won 10 of their last 12. They really smashed the Suns there last night. Terrific performance in that one. The Clippers are almost to 500 now. They wouldn't have lost that game the other night. They'd be at 500 right now, and they couldn't beat Denver there on the road, but that's all right. Still came back an impressive win and cover 117-93 over the Suns on Sunday night. Clippers have covered 4 of their last 5. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Clippers have gone over in 4 of their last 6 games. For the Sixers here, they've covered 5 of their last 7 on the road. They're 4-2 straight up in their last 6 games. This one's closely rated with the Clippers favored here by 2.5, and the total 220.5. So there's been kind of a move here on the Clippers for sure in this one. I gotta think they can do it again right now. I mean, they're gonna catch Philly vulnerable, it feels like, in this game. Not disappointed with what Philly's been doing here, consecutive wins, but it was over Milwaukee, Sacramento, and New Orleans. So PG is definitely out here with he's suspended right now, and Embiid is probable. And Harden is questionable, so maybe he could actually be back here in this one. Maybe that's what the move has been here, but you'd think they'd be much favored by more than this. The Clippers are on a roll here right now. Give the Sixers credit. They've won these games here on the road. They're 27 and 21 overall. I don't know. Feels like a mismatch to me, man. I love what the Clippers are doing right now, and I got mad at myself when I didn't take them last night. We did have the under here on the show yesterday, and man, these Clipper games, just all they do is go under, right? It seems like. These two teams did play their first matchup. Philly won it at home, 110 to 108, but the Clippers got the money. I'm on the Clippers here. Give me the Clips, my Clips over Philadelphia on Monday night. And I better get on this total now because I've got a feeling it's only going to go down. All right, let's see what we got here in the chat for our final game of the NBA card here on Monday night. Cal Dogs on the Clippers. Andre says 76 points. Mr. Westwood says the Sixers played better without PG. He's been saying it the whole time. Gibson ratings here, liking the Clippers. And Andre's got Embiid, Maxey, and Edgecombe for their point totals there. And Andre here. Oh, he said no Harden there. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he probably could miss this game. I think they're already planning that Sanders, my man Sanders, is going to be in there. Let's see what. If Kawhi here, he's not on the injured list, but I don't know. It could be his rest day. I'm not sure. And if it is, then you'll probably see more Zubats in there. And who doesn't want that? But I think Sanders is going to be starting without Harden again. All right, Timmy says, Kawhi, 20 points, 2 made threes, 5 boards, get cash money. Clippers say Clippers will be tired. Philly is fresh there. Yeah, no doubt. That's a big factor too, probably in the spread there with the back-to-back for the Clippers here. But gosh, they've been so terrific, man. They really have. I mean, really smashing some of these spreads. They're 7-3 ATS in last 10, although just 11 and 14 is a favorite. But a lot of those kind of came early when they were definitely underachieving. Mr. Westwood says he needs to see it first, I think, there with Billy. Hey, Jimmy Lambeau is here. He likes the under here in this one. I mean, there's a little bit of over tendencies here right now in general with these teams, but I don't know. Clippers at home, surprising. They're, just a 50-50 proposition on the totals. But, the Clippers totals are usually pretty low. This one's kind of high, but I think you're getting that here with the Clippers a little bit. All right. Okay, yeah, Timmy, let's see. Oh, okay, I see there. And, Paul George obviously is going to be out here now for all those games. So, bad move there for Paul George. That's a big deal, but we're going to see how they'll fare without him here with that suspension. All right, that's it for the NBA. Thanks a lot. We're going to go to college basketball here. We got a nice little college card, so let's get into it and talk a little college basketball here on a Monday. We got a little mix of Southland, some SWAC, I think. We've got a little and we got a couple big games as well. So let's go to it. And of course, with Mr. Weskers here, we got to start in the ACC with a good one, don't we? All right, let's roll it out here right now in the colleges with Syracuse taking on North Carolina. ACC action here for Monday with the Orange. Man, they're getting the big points here on the road against Carolina, huh? How about it? Take a look at the current standings in the ACC with Duke, of course, 9-0. You got Carolina 5-3 right now. Syracuse 4-5. Can they get to 500 if they can pull off an upset? But got North Carolina in here, ranked 16th currently, 17-4 overall. Winners of 3 straight for the Heels coming in. They covered against Notre Dame. They beat Virginia as a 6.5-point dog on the road, and then they beat Georgia Tech by 16 as a 9.5-point road favorite. So pretty good run here for Carolina. Also, they're 9-4 against the spread at home so far this season for the Orange here. They come in off of a win over Notre Dame. What a performance in that one for Syracuse. They were a 5.5-point favorite at home in that one, beat them by 14. Syracuse just 2-4. ATS on the road 3-5. ATS as a dog. Syracuse is 5-1 to the over on the road. Notre Dame's gone over in 8 of their last 10 coming into this one. Total here 156 right now with this matchup. Let's see what you have here with Syracuse and North Carolina. ACC action gets us started. There is one time change I'll note for everyone. Maryland Eastern Shore and North Carolina Central is a time change to 2:30 Eastern and 4:30 Eastern and 1:30 Pacific time. Move that one back up there. More weather problems in the Carolinas there. So, all right, let's see what this one is at our regular time here, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, with North Carolina here favorite. In fact, I see some 12s out there as well right now. And yeah, that total sitting about 156. See what you have in the chat with this matchup with Syracuse ready to go here against North Carolina on the road. Syracuse have lost 4 of their last 5, just 1-4 ATS in those 5 games. Of course, the win and cover against Notre Dame there, of course. Syracuse covered 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. Syracuse has also gone over in 7 of their last 8 overall. Carolina's overrun is highlighted by 7 straight overs as well. 4 of the last 5 between these two teams have gone over. I got to go over here on this one with Syracuse and North Carolina. It does feel like the Sharps are going to be on the under here, but maybe that only creates a little bit of – still got to get to 156 right now, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to go over here on this one with North Carolina and Syracuse. Carolina's here 12-0 at home so far this season, straight up. Let's go to the chat here and let's see what you got. Syracuse and North Carolina today. And Greg said the spread was 10 here, and now where are we? He likes North Carolina easy to crush in this one. Cal Dog's liking the over here with me. Greg says it's going to be a woodshed game here, a Greg Gibson woodshed game. Timmy Chushu says so he likes North Carolina, however. And Andre, he says North Carolina wins. And over. I think he meant Syracuse in there. He says North Carolina wins meant Syracuse covers and over. All right, next up. Let's go to the Patriot League here with this one, with Boston U on the road, taking on Holy Cross here. College basketball action on Monday for Boston U here. They come in with a 3-7 record. Holy Cross is 3-7. This is a battle for last place, but it's a close toss-up game. So I want to take a look at these two teams with BU coming in here 8-15. Holy Cross 8-15 as well. Holy Cross is on a long losing streak. BU has lost three in a row here right now, but Holy Cross is 5-3 against the spread at home, and BU is 4-7. ATS as a favorite, BU with consecutive losses to Colgate, Navy, and Bucknell. Meanwhile, for Holy Cross, they have covered in their last two games here, despite this losing streak currently. Holy Cross has lost 5 straight games, but BU has lost 5 of their last 6, gone 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 overall. BU's gone over in 6 of their last 8 games coming in. 9 of the last 12 between these two teams have gone over, but I'm actually going under here with BU and Holy Cross. I think the trends, if you look at them, they probably favor the over here, but I think this is kind of a high number. In fact, I might have to lower the number. I think it's down to 138 actually. And for good reason. I think the number just came too high. And I'm going to go under here in this one with BU and Holy Cross on Monday. I don't know how that one got into the rotation. I think I was just looking for close games. Guys probably laughing at me here. All right. Andre says take BU. Let's move on. Okay, I got one here now for sure, right? All right, I'm going to look at Nichols taking on Northwestern State here. There's also a pretty big game here in the Southland as well today at the top of the standings with Stephen F. Austin and McNeese. But I'm going to focus on this one with Nichols and Northwestern State. Nichols is still around too. They're 8-5 right now coming into this one. Northwestern State is 4-8 coming into this one. Northwestern State's been the better cover here for sure. They're 6-15 coming in overall, but we know these records are a little bit deflated because of the non-conference schedules for these guys. Still, Northwestern State's lost 4 in a row coming in right now. Losses to Incarnate Word, Houston Christian, Stephen F. Austin, and New Orleans. However, they've been on a kind of a tear covering. That's the situation. And for Nichols here, they've actually started to stumble a bit of late. Losses to Lamar, SFA, Southeast Louisiana, and New Orleans before they were able to dump East Texas A&M 72-68 last time out. So just checking in on a couple of other games here in the Southland today. Nichols State 1-5 straight up against the spread in their last 6. Northwestern State has covered 7 of their last 8, despite the fact that they're just 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games. You might think that Nichols, might be the better team still here overall. They're 9-13 right now, but I'm going to try Northwestern State actually here in this one. Northwestern State and Nichols have gone under in 8 of their last 9 meetings. So I'm going to take Northwestern State to upset Nichols here. They're actually a 1-point favorite, I think. I'll take Northwestern State to win over Nichols here. It might even be a pick 'em here right now. I'm showing a couple books actually have Nichols now favored by 1.5, I think here. But let's call it a pick. And the total, maybe it's gone up to about 146.5, 147. All right, let's see here. In this one, we got Nichols for Andre. Jimmy's on Nichols as well. I knew Nichols would be probably the popular team here. Cal Dogs with me on Northwestern State, and Greg also favoring Northwestern State here. Yeah, Nichols is definitely, tailed off here. It feels like of late. Maybe this is an opponent they can get right with right now, but I'm going to take the Demons. All right, I'm going to go next to Bethune-Cookman taking on Alabama A&M in our SWAC preview. I think I'm just taking one from each conference is what I ended up doing here. But Still, you got a pretty good game here. Bethune-Cookman is 7-1. Alabama A&M is 5-3 right now, so they're tied. They're tied for second with a couple of other teams, but Bethune-Cookman 2-game lead here in conference play right now, and looking pretty strong, like they can win the regular season championship. But you got to win the conference tournament here in the SWAC. Bethune-Cookman comes in here on a roll right now. They've got a nice winning streak going. Of late, they've won 5 straight. They've also gone 4-2 in their last 6 games against Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M's 4-2 straight up and against the spread in their last 6 games. They've won 2 in a row here right now with wins over Prairie View and Florida A&M. They also won and covered against Jackson State, and they upset Alcorn. For Bethune-Cookman, this run here of 5 consecutive wins over Mississippi Valley, Pine Bluff, Jackson State, Alcorn, and Alabama State. And they've gotten the money here in their last one against Alabama State, but not a great cover necessarily. Alabama A&M is the better cover so far. They're 6-2 against the spread at home, and Bethune-Cookman just 6-8 against the spread on the road. 9 of the last 10 meetings, or I'm sorry, 9 of Alabama A&M's last 10 games at home have gone under here, but I'm going to take Alabama A&M in this one to win at home against Bethune-Cookman here on Monday. Okay, let's see what you guys have here. Two teams playing pretty well right now. Like I said, Bethune-Cookman in the lead here in conference play, but I'm going to take Alabama A&M in a bit of an upset here. Small upset, obviously. Closely rated game. All right. And Andre says, Bethune for him. Cal Dogs on Bethune as well. Yeah, they've been good to a lot of people here. But like I said, they're not a great cover. Usually they're favored by a few more points than this, but I like what I've seen here from Alabama A&M. They are 9-2 at home this season. Bethune-Cookman 4-8 on the road. We know a lot of those road games were against superior competition in non-conference play. Greg says 72-70 in favor of Alabama A&M. All right. Next up. All right, we got the big one of the night here with Kansas on the road, taking on Texas Tech here. College basketball action for Monday for Texas Tech coming in here ranked 11th. They are coming in off of a loss last time out. They dropped that game to UCF on the road. 88-80 is a 4.5-point road favorite. Kansas, meanwhile, on a roll here right now. We saw Coach looking good on the sidelines there in the win against BYU. Man, they smashed them 90-82. KU was really starting to only if they could keep Peterson in the lineup. I mean, imagine how good they would be. Or is he a guy that detracts from him? He's in and out of the lineup so much. Still here, KU 14-7 against the spread overall. Texas Tech is 6-9 ATS as a favorite, but they've definitely been just fine here of late, despite that road bump there. Remember, they beat Houston just a week or two ago. But Kansas, man, they are covering everything here, it feels like right now. They've come in here having won five straight and covered in 5 straight games, including games against Iowa State, Baylor, Colorado, and Kansas State. Texas Tech, meanwhile, it was on a 5-game winning streak before losing to UCF. They've also gone 7-3 ATS in their last 10 games coming in. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but Kansas has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. And, man, they're playing well, but Texas Tech at home, we know how strong they've been. Undefeated right now at home, 11-0. But sometimes laying a few too many points, and Kansas just playing well. Let me go to the chat first in this one, see what you have. Kind of want to be on KU here, but Boy, just when you do. Me too, Mr. Weskers. That's what I want to do right now in this one. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Um, Jimmy says you got to fade the Jayhawks here. They've been on such a good run. Maybe they are at the peak of their, um, you know, public perception. But again, 14-7 against the spread for a team that, started off so, I don't want to say poorly, because if you're KU, I mean, you still have some, great wins and a strong record here so far. But they definitely put themselves in a little bit of a bind already with 2 conference losses here. Of course, Arizona's way out in front, but Kansas still 6-2. Texas Tech 6-2. So it feels like a big game. Both teams come in here 16-5 right now. All right. And Andre says Peterson only playing 24 minutes. He likes Tech, though. Timmy says hard to fade Tech when they're at home here. And Greg says, don't forget, they're coming off a loss. Maybe that makes them hungrier. And yes, maybe Kansas is kind of riding high. Maybe they've reached their little bit of a pinnacle here. All right. And Greg said it'll be a little bit big time home crowd there, maybe. All right. Andre's got the double here for Tiller. Okay. All right, I got to make my call here in this one. I guess I'm going to go under. Let me just make sure here. I'll take my favorite play. I'll be on the under here, but I might be on Kansas somewhere down the line, if you know what I mean. Like the way they're starting to look here. Coach is back. Hopefully he'll be able to hang in there. He looked great, right? Walking out on the court. Fans loving it. All right, one more here tonight. We're going to go to the Big Sky game of the night here with Sacramento State here at home, taking on Weber State. Sacramento State coming in 4-5 in conference play, and for Weber here, they are 5-4 in conference play, but closely rated game here. Mikey Williams and the Hornets at home. They come in here 8-13. Weber's 11-11. Sac State's won 2 in a row here all of a sudden, and they're putting up some points, man. 83-80 over Montana State. 86-79 against Montana. Those are 2 good wins for Sacramento State. They were underdogs in both those games. Man, they've done a nice job as an underdog here, actually, Sacramento State. I definitely am a little bit of a fade train early on with these guys, but I'm impressed here with what they've done of late with those 3 wins. They started I believe 0-12 straight up as an underdog, but they've won 3 of their last 4, I think, or maybe they were 0-11. They started 0-11 as an underdog, but they've won 3 of their last 5 as an underdog, and they're covering too. They're 5-1 against the spread at home. Weber still 6-4 ATS on the road, but just 3-7 straight up on the road. And Sacramento State is 8-1 straight up at home. So a little bit perplexing here with this one. Sacramento State 10-6 to the over as a dog. Weber 7-4 to the over as a favorite, although 3-7 to the under on the road. So let's see here in this one. Said I was kind of fading the Hornets early, but they've. I'm not saying they're totally impressive. I mean, this team's coming in here right now with an 8-13 record, but they've covered 5 of their last 6, despite losing 9 of their last 13. Weber has won 11 of the last 13 meetings between the 2 teams, so they usually handle the business. They've also gone 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games here at Sacramento State. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over. Sac State's gone over in 7 of 10. I'm going to go over in this one with Weber State and Sacramento State. Give me the over on night moves. Okay, and let's see what you have here. And Mr. Westerson, what about Portland Oh, Idaho State. Yeah, Portland State Vikings. Yeah. Idaho State and Portland State. Let's see if we have the algorithm up, if you know what I mean, and see if we can't make a selection here in this one. Um, I can make a pick on this game. I'm pretty sure here. I'm going to take the over. It's already moved up here with Portland, with Idaho State and Portland from 135 and a half up to 138. So a little bit of tax here for sure on this one, but I think I'm on the over here in the game between Idaho State and Portland State. Portland State right now. I mean, I know we covered the other game here, but if we look at it honestly here, Portland State 8-1 atop the standings here. Idaho State just 3-6 here currently. Portland State coming in off of a win over Montana State. They won and covered at home as a 4.5-point favorite. Of course, they did lose to Montana, but had wins over Northern Arizona, Eastern Washington, and Idaho. Meanwhile, Idaho State has lost 4 straight games. They haven't been a terrible cover, although they are 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. Portland State's definitely an under. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they're 2-8 to the under as a favorite, and 2-5 to the under at home. But I'm going to take the over in this one with Idaho State and Portland State. There, did I say the right? Did I say the right move there? Over, right? Over for me. Over. Despite Portland State's obvious trends to the under, I like the over with Idaho State and Portland State. Despite that, 2.5-point move there? Okay. Let's see. Oh, I might have some more. Let's see here. Andre said Sacramento State. Take that point just in case. Portland State for Andre in that one. Count on you guys like that game better than the Weber State Sacramento State game. Hey, that was our Big Sky preview on Monday night. Okay, we're getting to hockey right now. We got a big card here on the ice, so let's get to it. Good hockey card here for Monday, and we'll start it off. Senators on the road here, taking on the Penguins. NHL action here for Monday. Ottawa coming in here 26-21-7 on the road here against this hot Pittsburgh team. Man, they're scorching here right now. For Pittsburgh, they won 6 straight coming in, but this has always been a tough matchup for Pittsburgh of late. Ottawa's actually won 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams, and Ottawa's playing well. They've won 3 straight over BGK, Colorado, and New Jersey. Those are impressive wins. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, maybe a slightly softer schedule. Their wins included Calgary, Vancouver, Chicago, and the Rangers, but they did beat Edmonton there as well on the road as part of this 6-game winning streak. Ottawa's gone over in 6 of their last 9. Pittsburgh's gone over in 6 of their last 8. However, 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. Ottawa continues to be impressive as a road dog here. It's $1.15 right now for Pittsburgh. Pretty sure they're still the favorite right now. Yeah, $1.15, even $1.20 here. But Ottawa 10-6. As an underdog this season, 17-9 on the road, a really good road team. Pittsburgh does its best work at home. They are 16-10 here and just looking strong. But I'm going to try Ottawa here, actually. I'm going to go with Ottawa over Pittsburgh. Closely rated game. Both teams playing well. Pittsburgh's actually playing out of their mind, but I'm going to take Ottawa here. I don't know what could be. Sounds like a 7-goal game at least. Maybe the over was the play. Andre's on Pittsburgh here. Greg does have it just exactly what I said there. I think 4-3 Cal Dogs on the Senators as well. We're on the Senators here. 3-1 margin in the chat. How about that? Oh, boy, we got a good one here. with the Sabres on the road taking on the Panthers. How about it? Hey, Panthers are struggling, man. They've lost 3 in a row here all of a sudden with losses to Utah, St. Louis, and Winnipeg. Meanwhile, Buffalo did lose to Montreal on Saturday, 4-2. Yeah, they fought them hard, but Montreal got it in the end. Still doesn't damper too much what Buffalo's been up to here. They've won 5 of their last 6 and 12 of their last 14 on the road. Meanwhile, Florida's lost 5 of their last 6 at home. Florida has won 14 of the last 17 meetings between these two teams. So, look, we love Buffalo. We're all making money on Buffalo, but I think this one's going to be a little tougher. And I think when you see Florida here actually favored in this game, now look, they've not been the best of favorites. They're 16-22 as a favorite for Florida. They can't stand success. Meanwhile, Buffalo, 15-12 as a dog. Don't need to tell you how good they've been, really, right? We know how good they've been. We've been hitting them, but I'm taking the Panthers as a favorite in this one at home. $1.35 is, definitely laying a little bit of price here, but again, Buffalo, as hot as they've been right now, this is still a tough matchup for them overall. Got a Florida team riding a 3-game losing streak. I think it's time they end it here. Look, Buffalo probably get back to their winning ways. They haven't really shown any signs of lapsing here. If they lose 2 in a row, maybe they need to taste the defeat a little bit. They do need to kind of keep it going here right now. But 31-18-5, what a run they've been on here of late. Of late, it's been weeks. It's been weeks. All right, here we go. And we've got the Sabres here, though, for Cal Dog. And Mr. Westford says a lot of injuries here for Florida. They're creeping back up with the injury bug a little bit of late with Marchand questionable, Lundell questionable here as well. So a couple of key injuries there for Buffalo here. You got Greenway questionable, of course. No Pekka Luukkonen here right now for Buffalo, so that's okay. Lyon has been just fine. Jimmy Choo-Choo's ready for baseball season. Andre's on the Sabres here. Gibson ratings like Florida 3-2. Timmy says, the Panthers, they kind of lull you to sleep, right? It does feel like the Panthers have already tried, started to turn around. They're still only 28-23-3, but they always are ready, right? Cal Dog says got to be a little bit of revenge here for that game there a few weeks ago. Florida won it 4-3 at Buffalo. Kachuk for Timmy Two Shoes. Hey, I want to say hello to Two Picks Trav in there. It says Florida on this drought right now. Off the 2-1 loss to Winnipeg. I'm going to take it a bounce back here. Give me Florida. Thanks, Two Pick Trav. Nice to see you in there. All right, Metro battle here with the Islanders on the road taking on the Caps. Capitals have won 2 straight here right now. And like I said, they got, I think it's Stevenson. Did they have to bring up 2 goalies here right now? Just want to make sure we got this one right with Stevenson in there. No matter what, we know that Lindgren's had to hit the injury list, so has forced them to bring up Stevenson here from Hershey, and you got Sorokin in there for the Islanders here right now. And, well, Islanders are a dog here, but they're off of a loss to Nashville here. Stevenson did win his first start here. Sorokin comes in 17-13, 2.5 goals against, and 91.5% save percentage. They had 3 wins consecutively before that. They're also an impressive 21-14 as a dog are the Islanders. They've been good in this role. They've been decent on the road as well, 15-10. However, Washington 15-10 at home. Laying a little bit here, though, no doubt about it. These two teams did meet back in November. Washington got the win 4-1 at the Isles. But here at home, right now, Washington has lost 6 of their last 9 games overall coming in. They did have a long road trip before returning home to beat Carolina last time out 4-3. They also beat Detroit. Islanders have dropped 6 of the last 9 to the Capitals overall. Islanders have gone under in 14 of their last 19 on the road, but Washington's gone over in 6 of their last 8 coming into this one. Man, I'm going to take the Islanders here as a dog right now with Stevenson in there for the Caps. No problem. He won his first one, but I got Sorokin here. I'm going to take the Islanders in this one, and they might put in a few. They might put in a few here. All right, and let's see. All right, Andre's on the Islanders here. Mr. Wesker's like some Sorokin with me. We're having we like him. Andre's on the over here. Timmy says over in this one. Also, Cal Dog on the Islanders here. Timmy Choo-Choo's got Horvat in there. And Greg says 4-3 Islanders. I think so again, Greg. I'm seeing it with Greg here tonight. All right, the Canadians are on the road taking on the Wild. Here, both teams coming in riding 3-game winning streaks. Minnesota with the wins over Chicago, Calgary, and Edmonton here. Impressive the last 2 games, especially over the Alberta teams, sweeping them 11-4. For Montreal here, they have consecutive wins over VGK, Colorado, and Buffalo. Impressive. For Montreal here, they're 18-13 as an underdog, 15-6 on the road, but Minnesota 16-6 at home. Only 17-15 as a favorite, however. These two teams did meet just about 2 weeks ago, I want to say, and it was 4-3. Montreal got the win at home in that one. Montreal, though, has still dropped 8 of the last 9 meetings between the two. It was an 8-game winning streak for Minnesota. Montreal's had trouble with this team, and the fact they beat them at home, and not only that, in that game they had to actually Montreal led early. I remember that, but I think it was regulation. Yeah, it was regulation. So Montreal's lost 10 straight games here in Minnesota. Is this the one they're going to turn it around right now? I mean, they do have trouble with this team, and no doubt about it. But again, Montreal is kind of playing at a peak rate here right now, and Minnesota great as well. Minnesota's won 4 of their last 5. They've gone over in 6 of their last 7 and 10 of their last 11 overall. Montreal's gone over in 9 of their last 11 on the road. I mean, these two teams are combined 66-45 to the over this season. Montreal 21-10 to the over as an underdog. Minnesota's 19-13 to the over as a favorite. I'm just going to take the over here in this one. If this one's not 4-3, come on. Give me the over here. Maybe I'm supposed to take Montreal, but it's hard with the season series the way it is. Even if they just meet twice a year, it is domination on one side. All right, let's see what we got here. Mr. Westers can't get the Wild right. Cal Dog's on the Wild here. Timmy says Canadians aren't the Oilers, and Andre's on the Canadians here. Greg's got the Wild winning at 4-3. Timmy's on Tarasenko. Man, we got Greg says a bounce back game at home for the Wild. I think, you mean because they lost to Montreal, yeah. Okay, guess that's it for that one. But I'll take the over for sure. Just go over. All right, Blues and Predators here. They can't all be great games today. You got the Blues coming in here 20, 26, and 9. The Predators 25, 23, and 6, but they've been losing a few here of late. They are coming off of a win over the Islanders 4-3 on the road. Their last time out on Saturday. That snapped a 3-game losing streak for St. Louis here. They're off of a loss at home to Columbus, 5-3. They've had their woes here for sure. They're just 7-15 on the road right now. Nashville here favored, minus $1.50, total 6 under 20. Blues are 16-21 to the under on the road, but they've gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. St. Louis has dropped 8 straight on the road in 6 of their last 7. However, they have won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. 13 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but I'm going to probably go with the eye test in this one. I'm actually going to go under here with this matchup between St. Louis and Nashville. The first meeting between the two teams was 3-2 at St. Louis, or the last meeting between the two teams, 3-2 at St. Louis. St. Louis also lost at home to Nashville, 5-2, and Nashville won at home 7-2. So these guys playing their fourth matchup of the season. I'm going to take the under in this one between St. Louis and Nashville. I don't think the trends are going to point to an under here, but I'm going to go under. Other than the juice, maybe here. All right, Greg's got it 3-2 Preds. Timmy says, with these goalies in there, probably go over. I get it. Hofer here, not great. Not great. Hofer here against Sauer. Although some sites do list Bennington here overnight, but I think it's Hofer here today. We'll see. Timmy's got Stamkos here. All right, let's move on with our next one here. The Sharks are on the road taking on the Blackhawks. And for San Jose here, what can you say, man? Yeah, they've lost 2 in a row here, but they've been our moneymaker. And when you're going up against a team right now like the Blackhawks and they can't find a winner, maybe by bringing San Jose in here, they can finally find someone they can beat. But right now, Chicago looking for a win. 5 straight losses right now. Lost 7 of their last 8 at home. San Jose has lost 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two, and 4 of the last 5 here in Chicago, as well as the Blackhawks have beaten them. San Jose's gone under in 6 of their last 8, including 5 of their last 7 on the road right now. They've lost 2 in a row here too, Edmonton and Calgary. This is their 4th straight road game coming in for Chicago here. They are off of a 4-2 loss at home against Columbus here. They have played a couple of good – they played Minnesota pretty tough. They played Tampa tough, but, man, they just can't seem to get a win here right now. I'm going to go under in this one. San Jose's gone under, like I said, in 6 of their last 8. This is only the 5th time San Jose has been an underdog this season. They are 1-3 in those games, and Chicago's 11-19 to the under at home. So I'm going to go under here with the Sharks and the Blackhawks on Monday night. All right, Mr. Westwood will take Hawks on the puck line. And Gibson ratings here say 3-2 Chicago. Timmy Choo-Choo's got Smith and Bertuzzi. Parlay them up to get a point each. All right, next up, Winnipeg on the road taking on Dallas. Here on Monday night, got Dallas back to their winning ways. They had a little hiccup in there, but 4 in a row now. Especially impressive in their last 2 wins as underdogs at Vegas and at Utah. They were actually an underdog in that game. They did beat St. Louis in back-to-back games. It was a home and home. It wasn't back-to-back on consecutive nights, but they played home and home with St. Louis and won them both. But they did win by just 1 in both those games. Winnipeg, meanwhile, off of a 2-1 win at Florida last time out on Saturday, and they lost to Tampa before that in the Florida swing. 4th straight road game here for Winnipeg. But you know what? They're playing, playing interesting here right now. Look, they're a terrible underdog. I get that. Uh, Dallas certainly very, very strong here, but I'm going to probably take the uh, dog here in this one at $1.40 with Winnipeg here. Like I said, they beat Florida, they beat New Jersey. Yeah, Dallas has won here. They won in December 4-3 at Winnipeg, but I'm going to try the Jets here tonight as a dog here against Dallas. Give me Winnipeg here. Just a little bit too high a price for me in this one. I'm going to take, I think, plus $1.40 still. Make sure that the stars are $1.60. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm on them here. But yeah, mostly in fact, $1.75 here at some offshore books and DK also. So I like this price on the Jets. That's all there is to it. Dallas is back to their win. Like I said, 4 straight wins here for Dallas. I get that, but I'm gonna go with Winnipeg here. All right, Greg says Dallas wins this one easy. Timmy says the Jets maybe could do it here in Dallas. Greg has this one as an absolute blowout for Dallas. Cal Dog likes the over here in this one. And Timmy will ride with me with Winnipeg. All right, the Red Wings are on the road here taking on the Avs. Here, NHL action for Monday night. You got Colorado coming in here off of a win. They're a little bit more than a $2 favorite here. They beat Detroit 5-0 last time out as they return home here from a 4-game road trip. Well, they did beat Toronto as well, but they did lose to Montreal and Ottawa. Remember, Colorado's tasting a little bit of humble pie here for the first time all season over the last couple of weeks. They've actually lost 6 of their last 9 games here. Oh no, but this is always a blowout. This is always Colorado's game. They've won 14 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams coming in. Detroit here, like I said, they just played there the other night, 5-0. The Avs got the win again, and that one was at Detroit on Saturday night. So just the way it's going here. Their only win was last year at Detroit in a February meeting 2-1. But still, Red Wings have 14-8 on the road, 16-13 as a dog. Yeah, Colorado just with 2 losses overall at home. Still here this season. Maybe the Red Wings can stay in here and cover the puck line in this one. They're playing well enough. You'd think maybe, just maybe here, they could close the gap. But right now with 3 straight losses for Detroit, they're in a little bit of a slump. Home losses to LA, Washington, and Colorado. Not the easiest schedule here, but still 3 straight home losses in games maybe we're supposed to win here right now. So, all right, see what you got in this one. Detroit is 17-12 to the over as a dog. 6 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. Still a pretty big total here, but Colorado's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games at home coming in. Cal Dog says Red Wings for the upset. Mr. Weskers has the Avs and the Hawks in a parlay. How about that? Bakar, anytime goal for Timmy. Greg Gibson's got it 4-3 Colorado. Timmy, though, with the under. And Greg says maybe the puck line will be okay. Kind of want to try it myself, but I think it just comes even a little bit too high for me in a $2. When you got a $2 favorite and you still got to lay $1.40 here on the puck line. Oh boy. All right, let's see here. That might be it from you guys in the chat in this one. And look, a little bit of a mixed bag, I guess. Yeah, I got to make my call here with this game here. I think I'm supposed to take Detroit here, but I just don't trust them in the season series overall. Give me the over in this one with Detroit and Colorado on Monday night. All right. Next up, All right, the Canucks are on the road, taking it on the road here against the Mammoth. Hey, Vancouver won the other night. Well, last week anyway. They picked up a win over Anaheim, 2-0 at home. And then they lost to Toronto on Saturday, 3-2. But hey, at least they got a win finally. Then we know they've been struggling big time here. They've lost 6 straight on the road overall. They've also lost 5 straight to Utah. Vancouver's lost 15 of their last 17 overall. Utah's gone 4-1 straight up in their last 5 at home, 9-4 straight up in their last 13 overall. For Utah here, they've gone over in 5 of their last 7, but 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under still. I think this one's going to have some goals. For Utah here, they did beat Vancouver 4-1 in a meeting back in December at Vancouver. I'm going to go over in this one with Vancouver and Utah. Not a whole lot of trends that might point to the over here in this one. Utah 14-11 to the over at home. So I'm going to take the over here with the Canucks and Mammoth on Monday night. And Greg also says it's over. He's got a 5-2 big-time score there. And finally, the Maple Leafs are on the road taking on those Calgary Flames here in Alberta. Toronto coming in 25-21-9. Calgary 22-26-6. Both teams coming in off of a win to snap losing streaks. Toronto beat Vancouver 3-2 in a shootout. That snapped their losing streak. They had lost 6 straight before that, where everybody's making fun of them. Calgary here off of a win versus San Jose, as we mentioned, 3-2. In that one, they snapped a 5-game losing streak. So both teams struggling, but they did pick up a win last time out. And these two teams, here it's been a Toronto-dominated series. They've actually won 7 of the last 8 or 7 straight over Calgary here right now. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. I mean, you got to think this one's going to have some goals, don't you? Toronto 18-9 to the over as a favorite. 5 straight meetings between the two teams have gone over. Calgary's been trending under here for sure of late, but I'm going to take Toronto here in this one. They seem to dominate this series, and I'm going to take them to pick up a win here over Calgary on Monday. You guys are welcome to comment, and then the show's going to be over. Cal Dog likes Calgary here. Timmy's on Calgary, and Greg's on Calgary. Uh-oh. I'm on Toronto. Uh-oh. All right. I know that things are falling apart in Toronto for sure. Everyone's in panic mode at this point. All right, it's going to do it here for Night Moves for Tuesday. Make sure you head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off the premium pick packages here, including mine. On Monday, we're going to roll here. Why not grab the All Sports Pass with me for 3 days? I'm on a little bit of a roll right now, so check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Really appreciate everybody in the chat tonight for joining me. Let's have a great sports betting day. Let's have a great sports betting week as we get ready for the Super Bowl next Sunday. Finally here. We needed the week off and get ready for the big game here on Sunday. Thanks to everyone in the chat as well, to the chat pros. They really came through big time, keeping me going through the card here. Couldn't have done it without you. I don't want to just fly solo without the crew pointing me in the right direction. So thanks a lot to everyone in the chat. We'll be back tomorrow with more Night Moves, 3 a.m. Eastern, midnight Pacific time. We get ready for the action on Tuesday at that time. All right, that's going to do it. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 50,000 subscriber juggernaut, I'm Ramon Scott. So long here from Night Moves.